How's it going, everyone? Major title will be making its way over to PlayStation 5. Along with that, it is going free forever. We'll talk all about that. Final Fantasy XVI has gotten a much requested feature. Man, have I seen so many requests of turning off motion blur. Well, it is available. At least you can adjust the strength of it, so we'll talk about that. And Helldivers 2 gets some new information. Honestly, from that PlayStation showcase, the game that really I thought was shown the best was Helldivers 2. Maybe outside of Spider-Man, but Spider-Man, I think everybody knew what to expect out of the game, and it had such grandiose expectations. The expectations for Helldivers 2 were really non-existent. What I saw, I really did like what I saw out of that. So, want to talk about that at the end of this video. But first of all, Naraka Bladepoint is going free to play alongside its PlayStation 5 launch on July the 13th. This is going free to play very soon. Action Combat Battle Royale title Naraka Bladepoint will go free to play alongside the launch of its PS5 version on July 13th. Developer 24 Entertainment announced. Wishlisting is available now on the PlayStation Store. All PS5 users will receive a Katana skin, a Ryuzan, a Frost Reflection, and 2 Immortal Treasures. PlayStation Plus members will also receive 5 more treasures, an exclusive headwear designed exclusively for Plus members, and additional goodies. Naraka Bladepoint has been available for a little bit. I believe the PS4 version was a PlayStation Plus title back in August of 2021, August of 2022, somewhere around there. I might be having my months mixed up there, but the game notes capture the spirit well, a 12v12 gang war battle that allows players to capture locations to earn points. A new dual halberd weapons combine spear and dagger into one. It can stab straight and also strike horizontally with the ability to lock other weapons. Justice Chamber updates to guild mode, position, and more features added to the current guild system. New hero in Tessa. Tessa is a 1,000-year-old demon fox who can charm her enemies and capture their souls. Veteran rewards. Players who previously purchased the game will receive in-game gold equivalent to what edition they currently possess, and more PlayStation 5 player exclusive items, anniversary in-game events, and rewards. Collaboration with Dwelling in the Mountains, a 3D lobby, new season skin theme, and XGP benefits. Players with a Naraka Bladepoint account via Xbox Game Pass will be automatically upgraded from the standard to the new deluxe edition, so that's if you're on Xbox. The game itself is a melee-focused battle royale title. More than 20 million players have already joined the fray. Dynamic, fast-paced, and ever-shifting. Battle your enemies with punishing combos, parries, and grit, or outsmart them using lethal counters in an intense mind game. Boundless movement, wall run, swoop down, and zip across mountains and buildings with ease as you hunt down unsuspecting foes using your grappling hooks and your parkour skills. Your build, your playstyle, combine a variety of melee and ranged weapons with our powerful cast of heroes, each with customized skills and unique ultimate moves. Eastern legends travel to the magnificent but dangerous land of Morris and Holoroth, where great battles have shaped a beautiful landscape inspired by Far Eastern legends. Naraka Bladepoint is scheduled to release on PlayStation 5 on July the 13th, a free-to-play action battle royale title, and it will be coming very soon, just next week, and July is kind of a quiet period for big game releases, so this might be a good one to check out if you do want some games to play this month. And again, it will be free forever. Obviously, the game does have in-game microtransactions and whatnot, but there you go with that. Again, July 13th for the release of that. Next up, Final Fantasy XVI. Ton of you guys are still busy with that, and now we do have update version 1.03. This update fixes some issues and adds some new functionality. We recommend that you install this update before playing the game. The update itself, the major one, adds the following items to the system tab of the main menu. Motion blur strength allows the player to adjust the strength of the motion blur effect when the character or camera is in motion. The default setting is the maximum of 5. This can be lowered to reduce the strength of the motion blur effect, or set it to 0 to turn it off completely. There you go. A lot of you guys have been wanting the ability to adjust the motion blur in Final Fantasy XVI. It can get pretty intense, so now you do have that option to turning it to 0. Player follow movement and player follow attack. Turning these settings off prevents the camera from automatically following the player while moving and attacking, respectively. Changes the maximum setting of the camera sensitivity, horizontal, and camera sensitivity, vertical items from 10 to 20, and adds 3 new controller layouts, type D, E, and F. Corrects an issue that affected the stability of some menus and corrects some text issues. Adds the hashtag FF16 when sharing screenshots or video clips on Twitter or YouTube. So there you go with everything. A nice new update for Final Fantasy XVI. Now that people are finishing up the game, I feel like we're seeing a lot of divisive opinions. Definitely there are those opinions of people thinking, too action heavy, although when we were talking about this game, that's what we were expecting. It's gonna be a super action heavy game, and, I just feel like games like this appeal to a wider audience in the year 2023, and there's turn-based options, but obviously they're trying to appeal Final Fantasy to a new audience, and I think it worked with Final Fantasy 16. The amount of people that I know that have taken interest to this game that weren't Final Fantasy fans or hardcore Final Fantasy fans in the past, but they knew about FF16, it was a little bit surprising to me, and I know people are pointing towards the sales numbers, but first of all, you're talking about the game only being available on PlayStation 5. You're talking about the PlayStation 5 having a much smaller install based on the PlayStation 4 when Final Fantasy 15 came out. And you're talking about, you know, from a financial standpoint, Sony paid a lot of money to get exclusivity on Final Fantasy 16. What that amount is, I don't know, but obviously it was probably a pretty attractive option for Square Enix to take. I think the game is ultimately going to be incredibly successful, especially when it does drop on PC. I don't know if an Xbox release is gonna be happening, just because if you see, you know, FF7 Remake never got an Xbox release, and I imagine the same is gonna happen with Final Fantasy 16. But the game to me was tremendous. The soundtrack is great, some of the best boss battles that I've ever seen in a video game, and I think a lot of you guys agree with me on that. But I thought the game was really good, and you know, the side quests definitely a bit superfluous and kind of meaningless for a lot of it, but the main game, I think, for the most part, is really, really great, and it was well worth the $70 in my opinion, although Square Enix did provide me a copy of the game, but I digress. I think it's well worth $70 for anybody to buy. Lastly, I do want to note, Helldivers 2 details co-op combat. New information has dropped about Helldivers 2, a game that I highly recommend you to have on your radar, especially if you're looking for a cooperative title. This looks to be a great one, and Helldivers 1 was awesome. This one a little bit more different in presentation and how big of a scale the game is going for, but it's also done by Arrowhead, the same studio that did the first one. After your Helldiver defrosts on your ship, you and your squad mates must prepare for a mission by customizing your armor, your weapons, and your stratagems together. Creating your loadout feels like part of the mission prep, changing your weapon to suit not only your appetite for destruction, but the mission and enemy types you might encounter. Your greatest aids as a Helldiver are stratagems, powerful tools that can be summoned with short button combinations, everything from airstrikes to hell pods, containing bigger, badder weapons to defensive gear, and extra supplies are at your fingertips. When selecting stratagems, it'll be essential to coordinate with your team to select the best possible loadouts for the enemies and the mission type. If you're going against armored enemies like the Terramid Charger, you or a squad mate can equip armor-piercing weapons like the AT-48 recoilless rifle or the AC-8 autocannon, which features a teammate-assisted reload to keep battles even more chaotic. There's a lot more information here, and going over some of the gameplay details, I think this game looks great, and I think it's going to be one of those games that surprises a lot of people. And guess what? It's a game that was announced at the PlayStation Showcase. We got the fact that it was going to be released in 2023. Like, this is what we need to see releases like. Helldivers 2 is the perfect kind of announcement that I like to see. A game announced, looks great, looks polished, and it's going to come out later that year. Perfect. Helldivers 2 was a slam dunk announcement when it came to the PlayStation Showcase. I know Helldivers isn't that IP that people are going to get excited about, like if it was, let's say, a Ghost of Tsushima 2, but I loved Helldivers 1, and I think we're going to get something good out of Helldivers 2. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Naraka Bladepoint going free forever come the PlayStation 5 launch on July 13th. Final Fantasy XVI gets its version 1.03 update, and Helldivers 2 looks fantastic. This is going to be one of the sleeper hits of the year, in my opinion, especially if you have a couple friends to jump into the game with. I think it's going to be a blast to go through, but really looking forward to that, and I think that's a game to have on your radar. Interested to hear what the price point is going to be. I would imagine like $49.99 would be the pricing. I don't think this is going to be a $70 game, but we'll see how that ultimately turns out. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.